bits of ordinary stuff that I see and that I can hold in my head in their entirety, like individual memories or the fragments of pottery that I find in the molehills. Here, alongside and flowing sometimes in and around the simple yet often bizarre facts about how to catch a mole, are these fragments. Sometimes sharp, sometimes smooth, written for the most part while wandering across a field with a bag of traps. Telling the whole story of the life of a mole is equally impossible. Hidden in the darkness, his story is created from myths and a handful of observations passed on from person to person, each with their own point of view. The moles, like us, are deeply mysterious creatures, and we will only ever catch a glimpse of their truth. What things seem to be matters far more to me than what things actually are. What they actually are is unknowable. I don't like that prison of hard and cold facts. Facts do not set you free. They trap you into a constructed view of reality that is final. The only truth is here, and here, and here in the 3 seconds before it becomes a reconstruction. Really, I want to forget. Forgetting is freedom and forgiveness. But more than anything, it is a process of immersing myself in what is happening now. I could tell this story with myself as the villain, or the hero, innocent bystander, or agent provocateur, and each time I'd be telling a form of the truth. What is the value of a truth that has an infinite number of forms? There is a difference between truth and honesty, so I am going to tell you one of the millions of honest stories that I could tell you that might be good enough to call true. One of the stories that led me to the point of kneeling in a muddy field in December with a dead mole in my hand and deciding it was time to stop killing. How to Catch a Mole, Life as a Molecatcher, written in the season of catching moles instead of catching moles. I think the only certainty I can give you about this book is that by the end, you will know a lot more about moles. Daybreak. As I sit here writing at my kitchen table, a ladybird is crawling on my leg. I accidentally bring a lot of wildlife home from work. Beetles and spiders, the occasional grasshopper under my collar, ants in the creases of my work trousers or fallen into my boots. The ladybird on my knee is trying to unfurl her wings. The red wing cases hinge open and the black, fly-like wings come out, but the right one is broken, bent back, and will not unfold. She tries 3, 4 times, slowly folding it away and then trying to open it again. She wants to leave. Perhaps I damaged her, I don't know. It is easy to damage the quiet, fragile things carelessly, to break and maim without even noticing. Yesterday I was clearing away fallen leaves. A robin hopping behind me was eating the beetles and the worms that I exposed. I uncovered them, they were eaten. The robin ate. Things break, things scar, and scars are healed, but they twinge from time to time. Every small step we take on this earth has consequences, and each evening when I get home, I scrub out from under my nails the messy business of birth and sex and death and decay, and I try to wash it all away. It is easier not to think. I get my hands dirty every day, nurturing seeds and pulling up weeds, playing with chaos, tuning it up slightly to make it a bit more exciting, planting a red garden or a white one, sometimes embracing chaos because we think it is beautiful, and sometimes destroying it because we decide that it's messy. Destroying moles and their apparent chaos is one of the seasonal jobs that comes around every year in a predictable way. There are intertwining rhythmic cycles that thump along. A weekly mowing of the grass, a yearly pruning of roses, trimming the wisteria 3 times a year, the annual laurel hedge cut in August, picking apples in the autumn when they tell me they are ready, waiting for the frost before I prune the fruit trees, digging up and storing dahlias after 2 frosts, then replanting them when the risk of frost has passed, making compost, planning flower beds, choosing plants and buying seeds in the winter, planting, weeding and clearing, managing annuals, biennials and perennials, and trapping moles in the winter and the early spring. The year is marked and